just a little bit of his background. Professor David, his education, of course, is a law degree from Tbilisi State University in Georgia, an LLM and a Doctor of Law from the University of Saarland in Germany. And the positions held here, like I said, very important to clarify many points for us. The Director of National Center for Educational Quality Enhancement, the NCEQE. Director of National Center for Educational Accreditation, which was the NCEA. Dean of Tbilisi State University Law School. Deputy Director of Georgian European Policy and Legal Advice Center. Professor of the Private Law at Tbilisi State University. Chief Editor of Georgian Law Reviews. Also the awards he has gotten in 2010 was awarded with the Doctor Honors Causa by the University of Georgia for his input in the reform of Georgian higher education and development of the science of law. A very educated person, rector of NVU, and with us today to share with us his insight, his input, and to tell us exactly why New Vision University is so popular. Because we know why it's popular. I want to ask Professor David if he understands why it's so popular.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hello,
ladies and gentlemen.
How are you, Professor David? Long time
Thank
no
you very
see.
much. Thank you very much for this introduction and reading my bio loudly. Definitely, there are a few points which I'm also proud, definitely, because it also might be relevant for today's discussion. First of all, that I spent myself many years outside Georgia. I got my education, as you see, in Saarland, Germany. And I spent around 10 years traveling back and forth, trying to spend as much as possible in Georgia and less in Germany, and combine my work experience with the education, especially at a PhD level, where you could combine the both. Okay, so welcome to this session, which is about, as I understood, New Vision, and my job is to promote New Vision. Of course,
our job is to promote New Vision too.
I'm not impartial, guys, so be aware of that, because of course, this is the institution which I founded with my colleagues, and we've done it because we wanted to create an institution which is different, which is really in 21st century, and that we implement those ideas which were not possible to be implemented elsewhere. And actually, this is maybe the most international university in the world, or definitely one of the most international universities. I know, for example, that LSE, which you all know, is proud of having 75% of foreign students. Believe me, in Tbilisi, Georgia, at New Vision, we have significantly more international students coming from 85 countries. And it's always interesting because every year when we see how we developed during last year, number of countries constantly grows, because we had last year 80, then we had 85, before we had 70. I remember then we had even 7 countries as we started. And it's quite interesting that actually not only number of countries grows, but also number of foreign professors grows. And one of the most widely represented population are our UK colleagues, so to say. And definitely that is quite interesting that most widely cultured institution, as we say, or more diversely cultured university. It has several campuses in Georgia. And one of our new developments is the campus, which will connect 2 our campuses with each other, so that we might be proud of this development as well. And it's becoming year by year even whole street of different buildings, different facilities, hospitals, which are affiliated with New Vision. So it's quite interesting environment. That's why I know that I need to promote Derby campus, but believe me, coming to Georgia, it's experience worth doing it. And definitely, if you come to visit us, you will see not only different worlds in one place, or many different worlds at one place, or you will be also experienced, I know, in different ways how our students prepare culinary magics, how they are active in sports. I see Zahira here, who is also keen to play football with me time to time. Yeah, I remember she's doing quite well, and definitely we have a lot of different opportunities at New Vision in Georgia. Why Derby and why it's interesting? So this is first international campus of any Georgian university. So that is very important because actually, you see, it's not only important for New Vision, but it's also important for whole country. That's why we have engagement starting from Ambassador of Georgia in UK, going to members of parliament. Everybody is interested in what we will make there. And I say quite frequently that our job is to create opportunities, and how we use these opportunities, that's up to us. We are in one boat, definitely, and have to move forward, that we will decide together. Because you see, you definitely heard a lot about personalized healthcare, or you heard about human-centered healthcare or patient-centered healthcare. We speak in education about student-centered education, and actually the main person is the student, which takes decisions about own life. It's actually your life and it's your future. Our job is to make your journey through education, this particular period of time of your life, as interesting as possible. You will be surprised, but as pleasant as possible. And even though maybe some exams are quite tough and nasty, but it's also part of life. And you should overcome those to feel happier. You see, we will create a lot of barriers to confirm that you will become happier person, in a sense that you will win the battle with the books, a lot of information. Even sometimes our professors will make their best to annoy you. Yeah, it's part of life, to prepare you for real life. And I'm not saying that they always do it extra, but time to time it happens as well. And you see, it's real life. It's not something where we pretend, you know, to be something else. It's how you will be confronted with the situations in real life. So that's why we create a system which helps every individual to get what they really want. Because you see, I'm sure that you read books several times, one and the same book, let's say second time, and you had different experience. You discover something new and something different. When you have second reading, you may read it third time, and I'm sure that you know it, that you will experience something else. So that's because you change with the time, and your thoughts change, and your feelings, what is really important for you at that particular momentum, also change. That's why imagine if we talk about one and same person. Imagine if we have, I don't know, 300 people in class. How we can structure education in a way that all 300 are happy at same level. Of course, we need to be innovative. We need to offer you different options how to learn, because people learn differently. Okay, for somebody, visual effect is important, just like now my bio on the screen. For somebody else, acoustical part is more important. But I think for everybody, learning by doing is very important part. And that is actually medicine is all about. To a large extent, it's learning by doing the experience. That's why I think your colleagues, we are also talking about, and our colleagues which conduct this event, we are talking about clinical rotations, experience which you gain in hospitals. And definitely that is the very important part of your education. I also jumped in when I heard that there was presentation about UK rotations. That is definitely, it was described very well, because I assume that many of you would go back to UK for practice medicine there. So what you need, You need to experience UK way of healthcare as soon as possible. And it's done best through UK rotations. Guys, don't tell to anybody, okay, it's a big thing what I'm going to tell you, but I'm a very egoistic person. And definitely if you go and have your rotations in UK, then I share responsibility with UK professors who show you their local environment. So I don't want to be blamed afterward that you won't become the most or brilliant doctor which ever lived in UK. I want this I don't know how to say it, but I want this be shared with others. You see, why I should be the only person blamed? So the life is easy. I would prefer that you experience everything yourself from very first day, also in UK, so that you have the feeling how it works in NHS system. And actually, normally during open days, we say something new to you, and study medicine, your people will definitely force me to say something. So that's why I can tell you that in August we are opening another hospital in UK, in London actually, which I don't want to be, to steal the magic from you, but it might be run as New Vision University Hospital, even in London. So that, we will see that very, very soon. And I will be glad to present it if you would be willing to join us during presentation. So what I was talking about, Zahir, do you remember what was the key point here?
Well,
yes. I'm kidding, of course, guys.
Professor David, don't worry, I have all the key points ready.
No,
questions ready.
Sure. No, I was talking about personalized education. You see, that actually every human being needs something which might be exclusively for this particular person, needed for this particular person, you see, and definitely to achieve that, you need to offer different routes, how you learn, what you do first, what you do second. Because you see, for some people, particular components of training program are more important than the others. But there are things which everybody should go through. Clinical skills. Yeah, you should go through clinical skills laboratory, because it's not realistic that you start training or patients before you do it in a training lab. Definitely, you need to experience as much as possible in the hospital setting, because this is real environment where you will have real patients and where you will be able to work with doctors.
So,
that we have
Professor David,
dentistry clinic as well.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, couldn't hear you.
So I disappeared or what?
Yes, you disappeared.
I decided to visit Derby campus for a couple of seconds. to drop a look over there whether everything is running well. Yeah, okay.
We want you here to tell us about the Derby campus.
Yeah, I know that. You see, and definitely, as I mentioned, it's a big project for all of us, not only for me and for New Vision, it's also for Georgian government. I know that if you move on and do something new, there are a lot of people who are jealous about it and who spread rumors. So what I can offer you, on 10th of October, we have presentation of the campus, that is for sure. In August, several days I will spend over there. Also in Derby campus, I know already a couple of days where I will be there myself with my colleagues to see what we need to arrange for the opening and what needs to be prepared. There are even new programs which we do believe will give additional flavor to New Vision in Derby. And there are, of course, issues which, as I mentioned, we work together with the Parliament to figure out whether we need some legislative amendments to implement full-scale program over there. That's why, so clear-cut message for everybody. At this moment, we are not implementing any full program. Okay, neither MD nor DMD in full are implemented at Derby. Idea behind is that we will implement particular components of the program, what is possible to be implemented there, so that it will be additional convenience for our UK students. You see, we are time to time, and pandemic showed to us we need to be creative. And actually, even during pandemic, we grew and achieved significant new achievements, so to say. We become larger. We made interesting developments in the area of new programs. We had students from new countries and so on and so on. But idea of Derby also actually came from the need of personalized education, which became apparent during pandemic, because we were talking about personalized education and not everybody understood what we meant before. But now I think, as we've seen, that there were different levels of lockdowns in different countries. Australia, for example, was closed for quite a long period of time, so that everybody from Australia who we are staying in Georgia were with us during the entire pandemic. But those people who were not able to leave Australia during this period, they were in Australia. And imagine, so we needed to find solution for both of them, okay? And same concerns with every particular country out of 85. That's why, from our perspective, there are, of course, things which we see how these countries develop, and we have very close look, because every year there might be some development in UK regarding dentistry or medicine. There might be some new rules imposed because it's part of life. You see, for example, United States in I think it was August 2020 declared a lot of new rules which were not known before. So, for example, how many transcripts they would accept, how many, how clinical training has to be structured, what are the restrictions, which were not in place before. So what we've done, we were the first which reacted toward that, and we entirely reshaped the educational structure of our program to make sure that there is no single person who decides to practice in US and may struggle because of recognition of the degree. Generally, I have to say a few words maybe about recognition of degree. There is a Lisbon Convention which regulates that, and you can drop a look on this to know how it's structured. So actually, there are two major things you need to take into consideration. That country which issues diploma should recognize degree, and there should be significant difference with the degree provided by X country and country where you seek your medical practice. So that is idea behind. You see, and in every particular case, to make sure that, for example, you as UK graduate may go to UK, Israel, India, US, Canada, Australia. So we need to make sure that whatever you decide by the time when you graduate, you have all options open. You see, that is our job, to make clear that as an international university, we comply with the requirements of all, not some, but all countries. While I'm saying that, I can tell you that if you check, for example, results of our graduates in different national exams, you will be surprised that everywhere we are among the best. Okay, that allowed us, for example, that we have among 5 or 6 Eastern European universities recognition from Israel, because Israel went through very detailed procedure to assess universities, and we were among first 5 universities recognized, along with Zagreb, Croatia, Bucharest. New Vision from Georgia was one of the 5. Okay, I think it's good. Why? Because you know that if this is one of the 5 from perspective of Israeli authorities, best universities in Eastern Europe, it might open for you some doors which are closed for others in case of Israeli market. It's very well paid market, so to say, for the doctors. If you go there and establish yourself in Israel, believe me, you will be happy that you studied at New Vision, because you will see the difference. Why New Vision and not X university? Or India. I know that many people have a background in are coming from India or have background there, have relatives over there, you can check that in Indian national exams, we have one of the best rankings. Okay, so I think every semester, for example, if you compare with other universities, including other Georgian state or non-state universities, for example, during the recent exams, Tbilisi State Medical University, which is actually one of the best universities in Georgia, has 23% passing rate, 23, and we had 59. Okay, so that means that just to take the most recent exams, you can see that from New Vision, significantly more people pass by their first attempt than from other very prestigious universities, let's say so. Regarding UK, I think Zahira knows it better, and of course SME colleagues, but I think students from UK came to Georgia 4 years ago, right?
2018.
2018. 2018.
2018. So yeah, it's exactly almost 4 years ago. And during this period of time, because before that we had only one student, I think, who has graduated already and has admitted to the PLAB exam, right? Kenneth, as I remember. But so far, I've seen some, and SME people sent me some rumors that people, your competitors of SME tried, which we are trying actually to become part of our team, try now to say that we are not very good, that we are not better than we are. But believe me, we are becoming better than us every year. And there are no other universities we compare with, because you see, it's way of life. If there are a lot of good other universities, it's nice. It's something. What is the achievement? In our case, we try to be ourselves, and we try to make our students as happy as we can. Happiness in medicine, it's another thing what I have to tell you, but keep it for yourself, okay, at this moment, before you decide whether you join New Vision or not, because it's a key to happiness, because your profession is key to happiness, because you care. And that is actually what makes you happy. If you care for others as real caregivers, imagine, I love this word in English, caregiver, okay, because you see, it says everything. If you care, you have this feeling which will be with you during entire your life. Often I tell to students to think about the first bicycle, how much you wanted it, or first doll which you wanted, or second or third doll, and what happened with it when you really got it. It ended up somewhere under the table, on the closet, or I don't know, somewhere, because it's yours and it's not that attractive anymore. But if you care for others, if you do something nice to others, it will make you happy. And imagine, if your profession is all about making others happier, improving their quality of life, then definitely, guys, I'm a bit jealous, you understand, because I'm a lawyer. I'm not representing medical profession. But guys here know that I found a way how to be happy together with you, because I joined you during very first semesters in intro classes with few lecturers in ethics, where we discussed the basic ideas of ethics. Then at some stage we do together medical law and ethics, and at some stage then we have even leadership classes to make sure that you are really happy. And if we see that you are not happy, then we have also particular administration happy hours, as we call it, and there is particular period in a week where you can see me and really make sure that you are really happy. Okay, I'm talking maybe too much about happiness, and I'm shifting back to Derby.
Well, we believe that happiness is the key to being able to do everything in life. If you're happy, you'll be able to move forward. If you're happy, you'll be able to do things. So yes, it is very important.
Of course, and going back to Derby, okay, how to be happy in Derby? It's
well, everybody's going to be happy in Derby because you'll be able to stay in the UK for a specific amount of time. So definitely they're going to be happy. But one question that I wanted to ask Professor David is, because this is basically what's being questioned, and we want to clarify, because we want to have all the students know exactly when we tell them that you can study in the UK and you will go back to Georgia. The UK campus, does it need to have any accreditation from Georgia to be able to, for students to be able to study? Does that impact their degree in any way?
Okay, we should make it clear that there are two different things. It's institutional accreditation, let's say, so which has the institution itself, and program accreditation, which has the program itself. So that means that our medical degree is definitely recognized worldwide. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is that our medical degree has certain requirements from the perspective of particular countries. At this particular moment, we are talking about UK requirements towards our degree. Frankly speaking, UK officials surprised us a bit because they are calculating things that are not calculated elsewhere in the world. There is a magic word, clock hours, for example, which is different from ECATS system, that is European Credit Transfer system that is valid in all European countries, but in UK, they decided to do something differently. Of course, they're right, and we really enjoy having different environment from UK, and that is actually calculation of clock hours. And that are, we thought initially that these are the credit hours, but apparently we learned that it's not credit hours that is elsewhere, but they really want us to calculate how many hours you've done particularly praxis and you've been engaged in doing something. Okay, so it's not it does not include, for example, independent learning hours, because independent learning hours, which are recognized elsewhere in whole Europe and US and everywhere as part of educational process, are irrelevant for UK officials. No problem. We, of course, respect that decision, and we also respect all other decisions. See, I mentioned before some rules imposed by US American colleagues regarding clinical rotation that should be done at one institution. And it's also very important to understand that it has particular logic behind. Because, for example, if you do part of your, I don't know, internal medicine rotation in one country and internal medicine rotation in second country, another portion, it might be the same thing, because different countries may name things with same words, but mean different things, or vice versa. We are different things name with same name. That's why it's important that if you go through whole process at one institution, then you are on safe side, because then there is no misunderstanding and there is no skipping of anything which is relevant for the profession. Because regulated profession, as we call medicine, or in many countries dentistry, it's quite clear that expectations are very much similar in different countries. So you should have, I know, cardiology, pulmonology, gastroenterology, you should have surgery, you should have, I know, OBG, pediatrics, it must be there. So it's not possible actually to skip something from this. It's core curriculum, okay? And it must be offered. So what is the discussion at the moment with the Georgian officials? So we discussed actually that to implement full program in UK, we might need additional consent from National Center for Educational Quality Enhancement, which this center should receive from the Parliament. Parliament is ready to give to them this, and we will be able to offer the full program in UK. But at this moment, I'm quite honest to you, we are not able to offer full program there. And I'm not going to tell you that you will be able to have all, I know, 5 or 6 years of education in UK campus without coming to Georgia. Because you see, for us, it's very important that you understand that it's Georgian University, Georgian degree. It's our decision to be as global as possible, but it's still Georgian degree. You understand? And definitely there might be some components which we won't be able to offer in UK, whereas we are able to offer everything in Georgia, everything what you want. You see, because we have our own hospital, we have our partner hospitals in our, not only in city, even one big street where we are located, it's entirely hospital-driven environment. So there are almost only hospitals, and because of our students, there are now dormitories, restaurants, and many other environment which is developing around us. Frankly speaking, also many other institutions moved there. There is one university which was also initially there, but there are 2 or 3 others which took their quartier nearby to us to develop themselves in close environment with us. So that become it's not only campus. I would say it's a small city within the city, because it's almost entire street dedicated to all this. And definitely, you know what is our advantage? Georgia is the most affordable country in Europe. Okay, that means that if you come to Georgia, you get things much, much cheaper than it's elsewhere, anywhere in Europe. You understand? That's why buildings which we own in Georgia, if they would be in UK, they would have cost, I know, maybe 100 times more than it cost us to maintain this building and maintain these facilities. Okay, workforce, everything. It's different world. It's the most affordable country in Europe. At the same time, as I mentioned, why it's important for us to have the rotations, not only in UK, we have very good collaboration with Spanish, Italian, German, French, now Israeli, and we work also with US and Australian colleagues to develop exchange programs with those countries. For example, we have good collaboration with Dutch institutions, Nijmegen, Leiden, and Maastricht are 3 universities with whom we develop nursing program, because there is huge demand on nurses in European countries, and we decided to implement entirely Dutch flavored approach of nursing at our institution. So why I'm saying that, for example, many students have exchange program with Spain, Italy, Germany, and so on. And that works very well. And for us, it's very important because students have a chance to see different world, how it works there, whether there are that many differences if you compare different countries. So from that perspective, UK, since 4 years, gradually becomes very important country for us, because more and more people come from UK, and definitely we've seen that UK community at New Vision brought also very interesting flavor, which is not always positive. Actually, it has also some problematic sides, because you see, there are rumors that British are the founder of football, and other people, somebody would say cricket or some other sports. But I think the UK friends are best in the world in complaints. So there is nobody else who is as good as UK community in complaints. That's why we even have big flag at the university entrance saying, "Do not complain, contribute." Because you see, that was also something amazing for us. They help us to be better. They help us to develop, and they help us to grow. So that is another opportunity, you see, to be experienced with the different cultures and everything which we experience through this very fine UK population. So of course, yeah, they are good in football as well. I'm not saying that they are not. Though UK teams have not won any championship in Georgia yet, because we have always university competitions, but I think it will come up, and maybe if you are a good player, please join the team and come to Georgia to help your community to be better in football, for example. Okay, I'm talking too much, I understand, but maybe to tell you a few more things to understand how we work, okay?
Professor David, it's very important that you're here today anyways, because we know that all this information that you're giving about a country, the university, you already know that it's a very popular option for all the British students. I mean, like you said, I mean, the future brings many different things that no one can, of course, know right now. But the expansion of being able to even do a 6-year program in the UK, of course, is you can understand that everyone's going to want to go to NVU. I just hope you have the being able to, I don't know, expand the UK campus more.
Accommodate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to accommodate everybody. Okay, that is a
Exactly, to accommodate everyone, because
we,
it
we,
is
we
one
need
of the most
we need
popular
to
options.
establish a lot of partnerships in UK, because you see it's all about number of partner hospitals and number of professors which will be engaged in implementation of this project, definitely. And
So I think, yeah, I
this is
think
because
it's
what it is approach which we implement is personalized education. Just I will give you a few words, a few examples so that you understand a bit how it works. For example, we opened master's program in healthcare management, as we saw that we grow already in our hospital to the level that we can provide learning by doing experience to our students. So, for example, as we seen that teaching business, it should be done in a different way. We established first New Vision Insurance, then New Vision Leasing, and some other companies which engage students from very first day, so that they really don't only learn from books, but they also can experience this environment. In medicine, even we don't have not only learning by doing, but we have even learning by teaching experience, where we have, for example, peer coaching, peer PBL, peer tutoring exercises, where students from higher semesters work with younger semester students in peers, so that they can refresh things they learned during first or second year, and at the same time they help the students of lower semesters to learn as they learned and as it seemed them to be convenient and at the same time useful in practice. For example, if when you have your internal medicine 2 class where you have neurology and psychiatry, you go back and work with the body system 2 students, which learn at this moment physiology component of brain, how it works, and you see you recall everything what you learned during second semester and connect it to the knowledge which you need in clinical environments. So to make it clear, therapy, it's another chance. I don't want to create impression that anybody can learn their entire program. It's not what we want. It's not there. That's why we literally say that we implement the particular components of our programs, of different programs, of course. And of course, we will make sure that the courses offered there are structured in a way that you get maximum experience in UK environment, but please be aware that it won't substitute or supplement need to come to Georgia at some stage, because it's definitely very important that we use Derby campus as a tool, but it's not a lone standing campus to implement entire program. Okay, that is very important.
That's Professor David, that is exactly what we inform our students, that the Derby campus, at least for now, because like you said, in the future, it will change or it might change. For now, students are able to do part of their studies on the UK campus and in Georgia. Of course, Georgia is where they will be getting their degree from.
Sure. Yeah, that's very important that you see
Yes, of course.
there are a lot of requirements which we need to take into consideration. And I don't want to create impression that you see it's possible to get education in UK without leaving the country. It's
No, of course
we are
not.
not
Of
able to
course
do that.
not.
We are
No,
not
no, no, of
able
course not.
because we don't
And
have relevant facilities in UK. Frankly,
exactly,
at the moment.
exactly, because this is something very important that all the students know, that they have to go to Georgia. They have to get their degree, and they will be getting their degree, of course, from New Vision University in Georgia. But this campus, this very this opportunity that they have to be able to do part of their studies here in the UK, obviously, we know is something that is new, something that a lot of people obviously want to do. But can I ask, for example, we have right now a lot of questions. First of all, they heard obviously you say about a hospital, an NVU hospital in the UK. So they're asking, and well, when will this happen? Obviously, we don't know. We're not replying because obviously we don't know exactly when NVU will be able to have this hospital ready, but I know that it is in the plans for the very near future.
So sorry, would you rephrase the question, because I
yes, it was just
question and answer
asking.
session, and I'm
Yes.
trying to read as many questions as possible to sort it out. But okay, just tell me again what was your question, please. Sorry.
Okay, well, they're asking about the NVU hospital, and what area will this hospital be in the UK? This is the question.
Okay, so you see at the moment, definitely we have some partner general practices in Essex.
Yes.
And a few of our professors own those GPs, and
Yes.
that's why they are part of the offer. At the same time, we are coming on 4th of August for opening of the new hospital. And it will be, of course, I have the address and we can share it later on. But I think on 4th of August, we will be able to make a presentation as well and put additional information for everybody who is willing to visit it. It's in London. And definitely the third location is Derby, and because we are building up the campus there, we are interested in rotations also nearby Derby, and that's why I'm not limiting our activities in UK related to any particular location, because you see why we choose Derby. There were two major reasons. Because we've been asked by students from northern part of England not to be concentrated too much on London, and also to come closer to them. And that's why we decided, because you see, I'm also learning time to time. I also noticed, so how, for example, students from Birmingham or Manchester look at students from London, and where are the differences and where are the similarities. These are quite interesting communities which already are constructed at NVU, you see. And I also seen results of few beer parties, and then experience the share afterwards. It's quite interesting, actually. And that's why we decided that it should be not necessarily in London, the new location, and at the same time, the building which we bought from the University of Derby, their old campus, it's amazing one. You see, I have not seen something similar before, and I could not even imagine to have in UK property like this. Because you see, we time to time we make also joke about this story, because you see the majority of lands you get in United Kingdom, they are leasehold, and the building is so old that the land is also freehold. And I made joke, as I remember, as we may have signed the agreement, that now Queen and New Vision own land in UK as a freehold, you see. And it's quite a joke which become also in Georgian government very interesting, because they love the story. So what I'm saying that also this property played a role, because we found
it's an amazing building.
Because there were alternatives in Birmingham, there were alternatives in Liverpool, in Manchester, but you see, it's Midlands in case of Derby, and it's really beautiful building. Actually, you see, I've seen some questions here. I was trying to scroll down, but I'm not 100% sure which one I need to take. But one is comparison of degree.
I'm going to ask you one very important question that we have many students asking, and I think this is one of the most important question. Professor David, students are British students, obviously, because we, like you said earlier, GMC is one of the medical councils that has so many difficult requirements for students to be able to register. So students, and because, like you said earlier, rumors are very bad, that usually they're always false, but students are asking, have British students with a degree from New Vision University registered successfully with the GMC? Don't forget about Dr. Namdi and Dr. Attar, who told us obviously that they did register with GMC. But I want you as rector of NVU to clarify that.
So actually the question which I'm looking at, it's also from Bumi, if I'm pronouncing it well. It also goes in the same direction, comparing NU degree with other EU degrees and direct registration, as he or she says. You see, point is pretty simple. Georgia is not EU member country. So that's we need to make clear. That's important. That's why everything what is about EU members is not applicable toward Georgia at this stage. What will happen this year? Georgia might be recognized as accessing country, you see, because Georgia filed the application to become EU member this year, a few months ago. And so it's open, so-called the new dimension, which they call European perspective, and we got confirmation from European bodies on this. So that's quite interesting thing. You see, we are not EU member, but we might become candidate country very soon. Whether being candidate country means that the all benefits which are given to EU countries would be automatically available also for Georgian degrees, I would say no. It will take time before that happens. Okay. Simple, I can give you a few comparisons, of course, how it works. For example, I know Croatia was accessing country for 10 years, and next 10 years took to become part of the Eurozone. Okay, so it's quite a long journey for Croatia. In this moment, situation is a bit different because of conflict in Ukraine, and you know that Ukraine and Georgia are quite closely linked to each other in the sense that we both suffer from one particular country. This particular country occupied 20% of Ukraine, and they've done at some stage also with Georgia the similar things. That's why you see all this, what happened in the region is opening new opportunities. Because of this, Ukraine was recognized last week as accessing country already, and got the particular roadmap how to become a member of EU, and the same will happen with Georgia very soon. So that is actually the reality. Why I'm saying that. So we are not EU member, and that is what is related to EU membership is not open to us. At the same time, I mentioned Lisbon Convention. It says there should not be so-called significant difference in the degree we offer and the degree which UK universities offer. That's why this collaboration with UK universities is also very important, to be aware how they structure the program, or how they, which kind of methodologies they use, and also with GMC, because GMC has quite interesting ideas how to move forward, how to check which degrees are, from their perspective, genuine, and which degrees they would like to see as equivalent to UK degrees, and so on. At some stage, I can tell you definitely that we will also think about getting international accreditation from UK, let's say, or Ireland, because it will be another opportunity how we can open door for you. So I've seen the question whether you can have rotation at NHS hospitals. Yes, obviously, yes, because you see, we've done it before, and our students, we are working there, getting praxis there. So I can confirm that it works. And I've seen a number of people who went through this process, and definitely there is no obstacle.
Okay, great. So, because from what I know, and as I spoke before to Dr. Namdi and Dr. Attar, which of course have graduated from NVU, both of them, and I think Attar's Namdi is already doing his PLAB 1 and going on to PLAB 2 now. So just wanted to make clear to everyone watching us today and participating in this amazing open day that NVU meets all the requirements for GMC. All the students coming back to the UK to do the registration, of course, has no issue at all. NVU meets all the required hours by doing the program, the MD program, regardless if it's an undergraduate or a graduate, because we all know, and like I always say about New Vision University, following regulations, and a university that just doesn't take any student with any kind of qualifications. In order for someone to get into a graduate program, they have to have a degree that is a final degree that has certain modules that will be recognized, and only that is how a student can get into a graduate program. And of course, we'll be able to do and get the hours to register. So I think that.
Yeah, please. I'm reading also some questions, and I want to briefly make a few comments on this. So
Yes.
Daniel Robinson asked whether he can become Georgian citizen after graduating. Okay, and another question, what he has about psychology degree and how much it would match with our requirements. So regarding these routes, I can tell you briefly how it works. So frankly speaking, if you have degree in life science, for example, yeah, and part of life science is also in our curriculum. So it makes no sense to teach you what you already know. That is the idea behind. You see, in our world, also informal education is acknowledged and recognized in many occasions. And even
Professor David, there's many questions, believe me, that we're trying to reply to all of them, but you don't have to get into that. Thank you so much, because we have a lot of questions that we will get into.
Yeah, but I just read those, and that's why I wanted to make clear
Thank you so much.
Believe me, part means that if somebody knows already something and it's conferred formally by transcript, it is not needed to be taught again at our institution. That's why any degree which could be recognized, or any component of the program towards our program, we can recognize. But there are particular requirements, and I see Dr. Ahmed Zoab asked whether some of our students had issues with the clock hours with GMC, and then says, of course. At this moment, GMC is checking every hour graduate very, very, very thoroughly, and we are pleased of this collaboration, frankly, because if somebody thinks that it's a negative part, but for me, it's really very important for developing our program, even because we see whether there are any shortcomings. And so far, of course, there are a lot of questions, especially in cases where they feel that some portion of the program should have been done at NVU. And we have also cases where we exchange, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 emails with GMC, making clear that every component of our study program is in line with their requirements.
Exactly.
Yes, some students have definitely difficulties in recognizing clock hours, and that's why we set particular procedures how to avoid that in future.
Yes, I know, because like you said, it's very important. It's very good that they take care of our students and assess them in a very good way. Yes, I understand and I agree with that too. I think that right now we've gotten the information, of course, that was that we needed from Professor David. He will be with us in the days to come with for Georgia in general. And tomorrow also, where we have our graduate entry. So he will be with us and please prepare all the students that will be with us tomorrow for graduate entry. Prepare your questions because I know you have many that you would like me to ask Professor David. Mostly today was about the UK campus, and like he said, it was very important because rumors are only rumors, and students do need to know that if anyone knows about regulations and authorizations and regulatory bodies and all this information, it is Professor David, Rector of NVU, as he was the previous director of the National Center of Educational Accreditation, Quality Enhancement. So if anyone knows the regulations, and this is why I point out to all the students, and I think Jane, you too, and all of us here at SME, is that NVU follows regulations. NVU is a university that is structured in a way that students quality education is taught there, and the regulations are X and NVU does X. They do not do Y, let's do this, you can do that, come in with this kind of degree, let's take you with not meeting the regulations, let's take you with a degree that doesn't meet. No, NVU follows regulations, as the rector of NVU knows is the best person, and that's why we wanted him today for the UK campus, mostly today, to confirm that it is not illegal to open a UK campus. It is legal and students are able to do partial studies and of course, back in Georgia. So Professor David, we want to thank you. Thank you for being here today. We will be waiting to see you tomorrow around the same time. Hopefully you'll be free. We know it's a little bit late. It's much later than it is here, of course, in the UK.
Sure. That's why it's easier to be free at the time now. No, of course, I'm glad to be part of it. Thank you very much for inviting me.
We want to have a physical open day in London, just like the one that you had come then, and hopefully with all the things going back to normal again, you will honor us again as soon as we do have our physical open day, and of course, hopefully seeing you very soon.
Yeah, I would propose the next one we should do in Derby, so that we will eliminate all rumors, whether it's really physically existing and whether you can touch it and so on.
Touch it. Touch the
Thank
guy.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be with you, and I will join tomorrow with pleasure. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.